Okay. All right. So welcome to the info session for ACE community. So ACE is adventure, creativity, and enjoyment. And I'm Jacki Cox, and I'm excited to bring this community to everybody. I feel like it's something that we're all craving a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of life that happens for us. And so I feel like having more enjoyment and fun in our lives. You've heard me say that kind of along the way as far as being the creativity and life coach, but you've heard me say things like that along the way. But this will help us get a little bit more connected to our passions and community. Community is so important to me. It's one of my top values. And so I've always loved being a part of communities and loved leading communities as well. I also, along the way, I knew I wanted to lead start my own community. And so I've actually had this not specific to ACE idea going on for about 6 years, but ACE came up recently within the last month or so. As many of you know, I hike a lot and I love to hike and I get super grounded when I'm out hiking. And as I was pulling into a parking lot, I was just really thinking of my business and thinking of, all the people and the things in my life that I love. And I was just like, I could use an ace in the hole of where to take my business next. And ACE, that word, that acronym, I'm big on acronyms. And it really came forward and a big light bulb came out. And I thought, I can use that. I've been talking about adventure, creativity, and enjoyment all along, and it's actually part of my create balance, my create acronym. And so it's just interesting, and those then 4 words then really do fit right in alignment with my core values. So I just thought it was, I was like, okay, this is time, and I'm really excited about it. I feel more grounded and connected to this than I have, to any of the other things I've introduced in a long time, except Where the F Are You? Krista and Lisa helped me with that, and I still love that one. And so credit to them on this. But I think, as relationships have deepened and strengthened this year, I think this is all culminating together. And I think there's a lot of, really good brainstorming that has happened around this. And so I just think the people that are in my life that, have helped to offer ideas and things like that, Krista and Lisa being 2 of them. And then my husband, Jeff, as well. He helps to, he's a really good brainstormer as well. So what's the premise behind ACE? So really what this is all about is, again, having more enjoyment in our lives. And so we would meet ultimately twice a month. So the first part of the month, we would meet, and usually, depending on how many groups end up forming, the locations and everything will get formed together. But right now, as we kick it off, it'll probably start meeting the second week of the month in Castle Rock. And so that way, until we get a little bigger on both ends, on Colorado Springs and in Denver, we're a little bit in the middle. And so that'll be the second week of the month, trying to follow suit. And it'll likely be the second Tuesday of the month for that first meeting. And then, so that meeting itself would be a structured meeting where mostly it would be about personal development. So about 60% related to personal development and about 40% for business. Because let's face it, we are both sides. When we're running a business, we have businesses, when we're working for someone else, we are both sides. We're not light switch, all of a sudden I'm Jacki Cox, work mode, coaching mode, and then light switch off, I'm now Jacki Cox personal. It doesn't work that way. As human beings, we are encompassing all of us at all times in most cases, right? I mean, when you're out with your girlfriends, you may not always be talking about business, but it comes in probably somewhere naturally, right? You talk about what you're excited about or what you're working on or your goals. And so it comes in. And so is it a specific, one-on-one where you're strictly talking about business? No, but it comes in because that's part of who we are. And so along with the ULA coaching, and my creative coaching, it'll all encompass itself. So those meetings then will be a 2-hour meeting. It'll be, we go around, do some networking because it's community. I want people to get to know each other a bit more. And we'll have an opportunity to hear a speaker. And the speaker then will likely be someone related to what we're doing for the activity part, the ACE part of this. And so so right now I'm looking at launching in February And right now I've already asked the question of, does anybody know of any avalanche trainers? Not the hockey team, but true like winter survival skills. So that way, if you're out skiing or snowboarding in the backcountry, or you're snowshoeing, or, taking a hike or whatever, you have some knowledge. So some skills that you're learning along the way as well, from a personal standpoint, that you can then enhance your enjoyment. Because if you know things, then you can do things a little better, right? I mean, as far as skills go. So that's the premise behind that. We would also do a little bit of masterminding and things like that at that meeting. So the meeting itself, hi, buddy. So the meeting itself would go pretty quickly. I mean, 2 hours goes quickly once you factor in some networking time, and then once you factor in a speaker that's going to come in and help us with some skills and some things, some outside things related to that. Then the next time we get together would be the ACE activity. So following suit, each month would be different: adventure, then creativity, then enjoyment, then adventure, right? We keep following ACE. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 type of thing. Now, let's be honest, enjoyment definitely encompasses both of those at some point. So I have a full list of activities that I've already started working on, as far as, the types of activities that we can do. So maybe it's sledding, maybe it's hot springs, maybe it's the National Stock Show, right? I mean, so there's different things that we can do along the way. A cooking class falls under creativity, doing something board and brush, or Marsha, I mean, maybe you're not only selling jewelry, but making jewelry, right? So it's those types of things that get you into that space of feeling connected to your adventure spirit and igniting your creativity. So that would be the 4th week of the month. So whether we have 2 groups going, or 3 groups going, or 1 group going, doesn't matter. Everybody comes together during that 4th week of the month then for the ACE activity. That's the community part, because I want people to have that outlet for getting to know each other further on a more personal level. But what happens then? We've all heard it before: know, like, and trust. Build it deeper, build those relationships stronger, then business happens. And so you start working through that community piece, and then business starts, it becomes really, really very magical. So that would be the 4th week of the month. As members, you do have the opportunity to go to, if let's say once there is a Denver group and a Colorado Springs group, you can go to both, because they'll be on different days. And they're not to compete. They won't compete with eWomen Network. As far as other groups in the market, I can't control all of that. But eWomen is a very solid one for all of us on this call, and then some of those that are interested as well. And so I won't compete with eWomen Network. Will it compete with other groups? It could, I guess, but that's not the goal. I'm not trying to, step over other meetings and things like that. But there's also a lot of meetings going on in each of these markets, and so it could happen. And so second Tuesday of the month, we would then, we would look to meet. Again, I can go 1st, 2nd, 3rd week as far as structured meetings goes. And then 4th week would be the activity, the ACE activity. So at this point, I've got some opportunities to open up calendar. Let's say I even did one in Conifer on the first Tuesday of the month, 2nd Tuesday in Colorado Springs, 3rd Tuesday in Denver, and then all together, the ACE community would be along the Front Range. So sometimes it's going to be Colorado Springs, sometimes Denver, sometimes a little further west. Maybe we go into the mountains and the foothills just a little bit, but along the Front Range for the most part. So that's the premise behind it. Like I said, I'm super excited about it. I feel very connected to it. I'm very passionate about it. I have 6 founding members in it right now. So I'm super excited about that. The founding members will get a few extra things along the year. So for example, if you become a founding member, and I'm going to tell you about the investment in just a second, but if you become a founding member, meaning you're signing on between now and the first meeting date, you would get an extra activity, not a meeting, because I'm starting the meetings officially in February, but an activity in January that I've already set out to the 6 that are already signed up. Is the activity on Tuesdays too? Yes, most likely it will be on Tuesdays as well. So likely that 4th Tuesday. The reason behind that is because oftentimes with groups, things like that, Monday, Tuesdays are often a little bit more flexible as far as timing goes. Do you have an idea of start time? Yeah, a date or time, hour time, Krista? Time. Okay. So I'm actually looking at doing more of a late afternoon or evening meeting. The reason for that is the activities. I want us to have a little bit of consistency there. And so the activities oftentimes may come in, that later afternoon, evening time frame. And so I want to get people used to that option of, okay, I have a Tuesday, something on Tuesday at 4 in the afternoon or 5 in the afternoon or whatever it is. So I'm looking at I'm trying to start as early as possible at that 4 o'clock time frame. That way you're done by 6. I probably wouldn't start the meetings any later than that. I may shift to 4:30, but probably not. Probably it'll be a 4 o'clock start time for that. And the activities, there may be a little flex there. There may be more of like okay, well, if it's a cooking class that has a specified time frame, we're going to have to kind of go a little bit more to their schedule. So for example, the 4 activities I sent to the founding members so far, just to give me ideas, or, give me feedback, was the National Stock Show, one of them being a rodeo. Well, that's at 7 o'clock at night on that Tuesday, I think it's the 16th, because the rodeo only goes until the 21st, right? And so, or the stock show does. But I also said, well, we could do a sleigh ride, or we could do, and that would be the 23rd, which is the 4th Tuesday, or we could do hot springs. And then there was something on the 30th. I think there was like ice sculptures in Breckenridge or something like that. So again, driving a little further, but I feel like with people, they can carpool and things like that. And so they won't always be that far away. I was just looking at to kick it off, and, with these founding members, and could be you too, that I just want something to kick it off really fun and special. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. So the investment part, it's $8.99 for the year, if you join on and pay it in full, or it's $89 per month, and that's a 12-month recurring payment, but it's a 12-month commitment. So with the $89 a month, you would do a payment now, and then a payment starting February 1, and then you would go. So that would be then you would have 11 payments after this first payment. But the next one being February 1 gives you a little bit of a break, but you would still be included in that January activity then if you did come on board. So again, it's $8.99 if you do paid in full, gives you a little bit of savings. It's about a 15% savings versus if you do the math on 89 times 12. So I would love to answer any questions for you, any of you. What is the day for the January activity? So there's some options there. If we do the rodeo, it's January 16th. That's a Tuesday. They're all Tuesdays. And so if we do the sleigh ride, it would be the 23rd, which is a Tuesday, but that's the 4th Tuesday. And then if we did the hot springs, that would also be the 23rd. So again, it would be one or the other type of thing. Or if we did the ice sculptures, that would be the 30th, which also happens to be a Tuesday for January. So Tuesdays are definitely going to be the activity days. Now, if there's something completely that like a lot of people would really love to do and it happens to fall on a different day, I would put it out as a vote then. And that could potentially be a bonus activity for that particular month. There will be some bonus activities. I don't want to say that it's going to happen every month because it won't, but there will be some bonus activities. I went and looked at the calendar, and every quarter there happens to be a 5th Tuesday. So it works out pretty nicely, actually. And so planning for those bonus activities, again, no extra fees involved. It's already included as part of, it's added value is basically what it is. It's added value for your investment. What other questions do you have? These are good questions. I love it. I love it.
So that includes the cost for all of the events?
All of the events.
The extra.
Yep. So the $89 a month or $8.99 in full includes all of the activities. Now, what it does not include is any, of course, drive time or anything like that, but it does not include food and beverage unless that's part of the activity. So let's say it's a cooking class and then we get to eat that meal. That's obviously included, but any food and drink that you want to purchase, that's on your own, then the activity itself would be included. Me as the organizer, I would organize all of that, get us in, in a group setting. So we're all together type of thing. Or a group reservation. So again, some of the activities include things like Topgolf or driving range, board and brush, or, where you'd make a craft of some sort. I've got a creative workshop that I can lead here up in Conifer, right? And so there's different things along the way that would be both appealing to both men and women. So this is not just limited to women, although that's who I attract right now. Are women, because that's who I'm networking with. But I am in conversations with a couple men as well. When Jeff and I were Jeff is my husband, when he and I were brainstorming, I asked if he would be interested in the activities that we have slotted, and he said, yeah, I would be interested in most. So I was like, okay, that's good feedback. Go ahead, Krista.
How far, probably say in advance, would you know the fourth Tuesday ACE activity? So if there was a time adjustment that we could get it on our calendars.
Yep, I'm going to know a quarter ahead at any given time. And so because I know everybody's schedule gets pretty full and abundant, which I love. But so my intention is to have it lined up for a quarter in advance. So right now, I mean, I'm already looking at April but I'm already trying to line up, not only this first one in January for the founding members, but then also I've got it kind of in alignment for February, March, and April. I just have to really get them reserved. And so it's a matter of, is everybody on board? And that's why I'm going to do a quarter at a time, because if I'm completely off base with these activities, I don't think I am, but if I'm completely off base, then you as members, you'll get a chance to chime in, because that's the community part. I want there to be good interaction and good attendance, because no different than men have been doing this for several decades and centuries. They've been on the golf course, right? And I love that Lisa and Krista are avid golfers. Having said that, they've been doing this ultimately for years, and that the best business happens when you let your hair down a little bit. Really great questions. I love this. Yes, Lisa, go ahead.
What is your thoughts around guests to join in?
Absolutely. Great question. So guests can come in. So if they're coming in to check it out, I mean, they can come to a meeting for free, the structured meeting themselves, they can come to for free and check out. And that way they get to meet some people. They can come to the meeting one time for free, because you'll understand the structure, right? As far as the activities go, I do have a non-member fee of $109 for that particular activity. So whatever it is, it would still be $109 if guests come in. So let's say you have your brothers in town, or you have a guest that would like to try and look at this community and see what we're all about. They would just be paying the non-member fee. They can typically do that once or maybe twice. Now, if it's spouses or significant others, and maybe they're interested in joining, but they're not quite sure yet, there's an exception to the rule there, because they can come to more than just the one. Because if they're having fun with you, same thing if there's kids involved and it's a family-friendly activity, right, for you, then what I'm planning to do is, have like a kid fee type of thing. But just know that would be kind of a special situation. I don't have the kid fee lined up because it would never be 109, because that doesn't seem quite right for a kid fee. But it really depends on the activity. So let's say the activity itself, they give me say they're charging themselves $89. Well, the kid fee may be just that then, like right at that number, but just to cover, costs and things like that. So it would just kind of be a special circumstance type of situation, but I would say that there'll at least be a couple family-friendly events. Good question on the guests. I appreciate that. what other questions do you have? I'm trying to see if I have everything on the chat, and it looks like I do, so. Okay, so if you're interested in this, whether you decide to do the annual or the monthly fee, again, it's still a 12-month commitment, no matter how you look at it. And technically, if you sign on it right now, it's a 13-month, right, bonus commitment type of thing. So if you're interested one way or another, I would send you an invoice. So if you're interested in the payment in full, I can send you an invoice from that. It would come from my Square, or I would send you an invoice for the $89. That gets you in. Reserve your spot as a founding member, and then it would be recurring starting by Krista, starting February 1. So then it would be automatic, and then that would be the 12-month commitment then. So how we doing? What are we thinking? What questions do you have? And does this sound appealing to you?
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty cool. I like the idea of being able to network too, and not just personal and just fun stuff, but I love that idea that that's incorporated in there as well. So I think that's sit down, buddy. I think that's a cool idea.
Awesome.
For sure, to be able to have both personal and professional stuff in there. And yeah, having that time frame, I think is good. I was like, what time, what days? Like, that's a necessary thing for me to be able to know, of course, to plan out, just like so many. So thank you for that info.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those that, you know, I mean, I understand that schedules get busy and stuff like that, and things will come up, and so it's just kind of a hope you can make it. I mean, we would love to have you at all or as many activities as possible, right? I mean, so that's the goal, because just like anyone else or anything else, the more you put in, the more you get out.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, I'm super excited about it. I'll be connecting with Krista and Marcia after this as well. And then I'll also be sending this to, there's several people that were interested that I'll be sending the recording to also. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions, and certainly would love to have you join us.
Yeah, I think that time frame I think works. It's always hard because of me.
Yeah.
I didn't even see me do that. Like,
excellent.
Facts, buddy. Facts.
Yes, those are facts. So yeah.
Well,
awesome.
thanks.
Well,
This
thanks.
sounds good.
Yeah, thanks for being on the call, and definitely look forward to chatting soon then.
Alrighty, cool.
Okay, will I see you tomorrow?
We'll see.
Okay.
I have to try to figure that out, because I would love to. Obviously, at least for a little bit, maybe shove them in a corner or something.
Right.
Or